Trinity, great to see you. Woken Up Alternative.
Thank you. I feel so welcomed.
Well,
Thank you
welcome
so
back. We spoke for the Garcias, in 2022, we said, which is crazy.
much. More than 3 years ago. It's so nuts.
And now we're talking about Avatar Fire and Ash. Not a big
I
deal. I kind of want to know. I want to go back. So when you were kind of, auditioning for like, the first one you were going to be in and everything, like,
Yeah.
did you know right away that it was like a that you were going to be coming back for a second movie? Like, what was that like specifically? Was it just like Avatar and then Fire and Ash was something afterwards? Like, what was that like in regards to that announcement?
I had no idea the journey that awaited, like at all. And I think at the time it was just like Avatar saga, Avatar sequels. I think I had an inkling that it was more than one film, but I don't think I really knew. I mean, I didn't even know until I truly booked the role that I didn't know until I booked the role, even my character's name. And
Wow.
so it was such a like secretive process. So you don't really know much. I mean, it even has its code names, but you know it's Avatar. And I was just obsessed with Avatar, the first film. I mean, as soon as I got the audition, I watched the first film. And as soon as I watched the first film, I was down bad. Like, I was so eager at the idea of being a part of a story like that and being able to bring to life characters that run so deep and are so cool and inspire me. And also, I just really thought the film was so much fun. So that whole audition process was interesting because I brought my own sides. I didn't have like I wasn't given sides. I just brought my own sides, and it was very conversational. It was very improvise based, and
Yes.
it all just kind of went from there. I did not know about Avatar: The Way of Water, Avatar: Fire and Ash. Like, I had no idea what was going to unfold in that world, and I also just had no idea what that personal journey and Avatar family journey would look like.
It's looking pretty big, pretty global. I mean, this is okay. So you try. I feel like you try not to think about these things I'm going to ask you right now because it can get like overwhelming. But like the scale of these movies in this world is like enormous, right? So I kind of want to know, like, when does the scale of it really sink in? Is it even before like the first couple of days of filming? Is it like during table reads? Is it looking at kind of, a lot of the special effects that are happening? Like, when does it really start sinking in? You can even go back to the first film as well.
Yeah, I was so little then, I had no idea. I mean, I could feel just the awe-inspiring nature of Avatar because I was a fan of the first film, but I just had no idea how legendary this film was, how legendary the saga would become, not only in its mark in filmmaking, but just its impact in people's lives. And the fact that pretty much everyone around me had already watched it. And from my brothers to my family, my friends, like, I didn't realize how legendary my cast members were and crew members and Jim. I mean, I had no idea. I knew that I respected them so much, though. I already had so much admiration just based off of seeing their work. But I guess I was just so little then I didn't understand or feel intimidated by just that kind of thing. Now
Yeah.
I feel it way more, and now I understand it, and now I look back on it in a whole different way. But at the time, I didn't know. And I was just eager. I was counting down every single day until training started and literally cherished every day on set. I guess maybe I was just so passionate about it, and this casting crew was so welcoming and awesome, and that I was always having so much fun. The hardest thing on set was honestly just leaving and to go home.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm I'm a filmmaker as well, Trinity. So that's where my questions are very craft based, and I'm going to get into some of mine right now. But so
Let's
this
get
is the
cracking.
only question that I'm going to ask that is probably a question or similar to questions that you've been asked on these global press days that you've been doing. So,
Okay.
um, but I just kind of want to know, like, specifically with like Fire and Ash, like, what is something that's very exclusive to this film that you're really excited for people to see in theaters?
There's a lot more action in this film. It's action packed, emotion packed, story packed. It's just packed. I mean, I feel like when I came out of the theater, I was a jumble of emotions, and my thoughts and my head were so provoked and ignited. I just felt totally lit up. And yet, also everything felt like a bit of a blur. And this was even after watching it for the third time. It's just so much to take in and so many emotions are felt. And I feel like Avatar the Way of Water, there's so much wonderment. There's a lot of exposition and introductions in The Way of Water. Avatar Fire and Ash, we're jumping right in, we're diving right in, we're in the thick of it. Things get more and more complicated all the time so quickly, and we're just on a ride. Like the whole film is an experience, and I think audiences are going to feel like they've been taken on a ride because it's all the twists and turns and everything is just happening in full force. There's no chance to really take a breath, especially for these characters, and we're bringing the audience along on that. We're all getting to reunite in the theater basically for this saga.
And I know as an actor, you try not to do this, but given, like you said, these are like worldwide phenomenons, people are edge of
Yeah.
their seat, the action. Are you ever conscious of the audience member watching Avatar Fire and Ash while you're making it, while you're in production? Or is that something you think about more after you wrap?
It's something I think about after I wrap. I mean, I could not even imagine it at the time. I was on my first big set and my first film set. I could not imagine it at the time. I could not even imagine what a premiere looked like, what a press tour looked like, what it would be like to see myself on screen or see something I was a part of on the screen. I think it's still probably the most crazy feeling, and it's like chemicals coursing through your body, like that sensation, I guess. And I didn't think about it at filming, mostly because I couldn't imagine it or imagine what it would be like. But I think also in general, when filming, it's hard to imagine it even once you've experienced it because it's just a kind of a crazy thing. And also as an actor, I'm so focused on Took and who she is and the moment and situation she's in that I forget everything else really.
And you're a actor and storyteller at a time now where there's so many different ways how we're consuming media, right? There's like I said, like the film festival route for a lot of films. Then there's going to the theaters, the theatrical release. You can
Right.
stream films, right? TV shows have that traditional week to week drop, right, Trinity, and then they
Oh
have the binging all at once, right, on Netflix and everything.
yeah.
Um, are you conscious of the many ways of people watching the things you're in at all? Like, are those conversations you're having a lot? And then my second question too is like, do you like what do you think about that? Like the scale, like the fact that like there are people that can watch your stuff on like a phone or like go to a movie theater. Like it's pretty crazy to think about.
It's pretty crazy to think about is the perfect way to put it. I mean, even on this press tour, I'm flying to the next stop for our press and with my cast members, and I'm like walking the plane aisle, I guess, to use the restroom, and I see someone's TV playing The Life of Puck, which just released earlier this year, or one of the old avatars or things like that. It's always the most crazy experience, and just to think about that people can really connect to these stories in so many ways, I think it's really cool. Still, for me, movie theaters are my favorite way to experience a film because when it's the movie theater, it's an experience. And I love the community of it. I like that when you go to the theater, you have permission and you give yourself permission to forget about reality, forget about everything else, and be in a dark room and let yourself be immersed in a story, in a world, and be with these characters and spend time with them. I think that's something that's really magical to me. And also, as someone who loves the music side of things, I love when you go to a good theater and you have the optimal viewing experience and you can feel every sound and every single part of the musical
The
score. It's
sound,
like
yes.
incredible to me. But of course, I like watch things on my TV and my phone all the time, and I think it's really awesome that we live in a in the modern world where
Yeah.
we can experience stories and experience things in so many different ways because I want people to be able to experience these stories and have many ways to experience it because not all of us have time or money sometimes to buy a movie theater ticket for every movie that comes out. And
Yes.
I totally understand that and feel that and resonate with it. So it's like an interesting question that you propose because it's such a nuanced like conversation. But I know for me, it feels so exciting that I get to be a part of these things. Like it's still always the craziest experience to realize that I get to be a part of these projects and do what I love, but then also that people love it too and can see it in so many different ways.
Absolutely. And I find it interesting because, Trinity Jo-Li Bliss as a storyteller, an actor, it's interesting, right? Because you've worked
Yeah.
on a lot of projects that people have seen you in. And
Right.
like, for example, the Avatar films, Life of Chuck, like you said, you know, you've have experience with the Garcias. So you've worked on
Right.
projects, and it's interesting, right? Because there's a lot of people that are gonna watch these, you know, movies, especially the Avatar films, and look at you on screen and say, I want to do that one day. Like that's what I want to do, right? I want to follow the
Yeah.
footsteps, right? But I find it interesting, right? Because you're, you know, in our opinion, like a breakout one to watch in this industry. And I feel
Oh,
like you're also like, you know, it's a start for you. Like you're learning and you look up to people as well. So you're kind of like in the middle, which is interesting to think about, right? Where people are looking up to you, but you also look up to like your favorite storytellers and actors. Do you ever think about that? Because I feel like that's interesting.
wow, I hadn't thought about it in that way until you put it into words, and that's really crazy to think about. I mean, I'm just at the beginning, and
Hmm.
I know I've gotten inspired over the years to find what I love to do because I've watched films or shows or listened to music or all these different things and been like, wow, this person inspires me, and I want to be able to do stuff like that, and I want to feel that feeling and give people that feeling, like just be a part of this creative performance like aspects of the way we can tell stories in these art forms. Like it's all something I'm so passionate about, and something that I was able to discover really because I was able to see it in other people around me and get inspired. I mean, to think about that I could be that for other people is pretty insane and warms my heart because I hope I can be something that could inspire people to feel like, yeah, I can do it. I mean, I can go for it and I can do what I love, or just for them to be able to discover something that gives them joy, really. Or even when it's not something that gives them joy, if it's a more cathartic story, for them to feel like they have a place of connection and to feel and to pave their own way. I think it's important. And I look up to so many people in my life. I mean, I'm very much just at the beginning and I have
Yep.
so many people that I admire and get tongue tied about. So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and you mentioned, you know, music, you love music, and it's funny because we're talking about film and everything. I don't know if you agree with me with this. You know, one of my favorite things of all time is I'm a big music guy too. PD Beats was my stage name when I used to play drums in punk and metal bands. You know what I mean? Like,
Sick.
yeah.
Wow.
So I love discovering new music from movies and TV. Is like one of my favorite things. Like, don't you love it? Like
I
when you watch, I'm the type of person like I'll be watching a movie or a show, I'll have to pause it and be like, "What song is this?" You know what I mean? Like, I love it, and I add it, and then some of those are on my Spotify Wrap. Like, you know, 4 months later. Like, it's crazy, right? Like that's how I discover music through like movies and TV sometimes.
Okay, you're literally the first person that has ever brought this up, and I just feel so ecstatic right now, and I feel very seen. Like this is something I do all the time, and you do it too. This is you
there's
get me.
there's so
Um,
many bands and artists from all around the world from like, you know, 20 years ago. Like it's so crazy to think about. I'm also in my filmmaker stage where I'm like thinking about needle drops and what songs to put. It's like my favorite thing. It's like playing a video game, like figuring out songs. Like I love it.
Seriously, I get so much inspiration from it too. Like I love just like looking up the whole soundtrack after and seeing if Spotify's made it into a collection or if someone made it into a collection, or even if I can just like replay and try to type what I hear and find the song. Like I
Mhm.
really love it, and it definitely does end up in my Spotify Wrapped. And also, I love to like. I mean, I do this as an actor when I get it to play characters and be characters. I'll write from their perspective. And also, just when watching films or TV shows, like I love to write a song about the episode or the film or
Yep.
from different characters' perspectives or stuff like that, like my own addition to the soundtrack. So I think that kind of stuff is my jam. I love it.
Did you always know you wanted to do a lot of stuff though? Like, cause I feel like, you know, like, maybe like there is kind of this, like, I want to like dive into music. I want to be an actor. I want to do theater. Like, or maybe it was like one of them and then ended up being more. Like, what was that like for you?
It's so interesting that like that's how you phrased the question because it's so true. I mean, I actually started with just local musical theater camps when I was so little because I loved making up stories. I loved role play. I loved singing soundtracks. I loved making up my own little ditties about anything, whether it was like going to the grocery store. I'm going to the grocery store, like just anything. Like I was always creating and performing for anybody that would listen or just for myself. And I I loved it. So my parents were like, okay, local musical theater camps might be a good thing to do when you're on spring break or that kind of thing. And I just had fun with it. So that's kind of how I started, funny enough. And that's a place where music and acting intertwine. But I think it's not like I was like, oh, these are the two things I want to do, or like, this is what I love the most. Like, I didn't start like that. I think it was just like so present in my heart and in my daily life, like something I was always doing just because it was where I had the most fun and felt the most seen, like internally. And so it just kind of like blossomed from that moment and like all unraveled really interestingly. I loved doing them both, and I'm still always discovering. I think just different ways to tell stories is like my jam. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, on that note, I will say go see Avatar Fire and Ash in theaters.
Thank you. Yes. I
I made a
I
little song there, but yeah.
I I love it. It was the perfect little jingle to announce it. I can't believe we're so close to the day. I guess because it feels like I started this journey not long ago and so long ago. It never feels real that the day is actually here and people will get to experience this film.
Mhm.
So just absolutely excited for them too because I think they're gonna love it. I love it.
That was going to be my last question, but no, I fibbed. I actually have one more question. Very quick question, too. Returning for this character for the second film, did it feel like playing the same character? Or did it feel like playing a different character at times?
I think it's the same. It's kind of like how we evolve as a person. I mean, we're the same person, but in a lot of ways, we can come across as a different character. Whether it's the people that we're with, the situations we're in, and the growth that we are going through and have gone through. I think that's what it was like for Took and returning as Took in Avatar Fire and Ash. I mean, she's gone through so much that a person should never have to go through, but also she's a child. A child should never have to go through that. She's kind of been a child and more. And yet, because of her positivity, her personality, she's always finding the light at the end of the tunnel. She's always trying to keep up her family motto and always wants to ask for forgiveness, not permission. It's just like her thing. So she has her whole Took thing. It's the same character. She's the same person. I'm still her, and she just lets it be. She is who she is. And yet she's super different from how we met her. And she's just trying to figure it all out. She doesn't know what to do.
Absolutely. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. And it's such a magical, amazing, franchise and world to be part of. I remember and that was my favorite things. Like when I was a kid seeing the first Avatar, it like nothing was cooler. It was such an experience. Like you're diving in, like it's just like that's what the movies are all about. Like Avatar is a perfect example. There's a lot of these big movies, you know what I mean? I remember seeing Spider-Man as a kid and I'm like, this is like the coolest thing ever. You know what I mean? The Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. It's like, and then there was like the music video with Chad Kroeger from Nickelback, Hero, that song. I was like, there's nothing cooler than this. Like, can you beat this? I don't know. It's just so cool to think about.
I live for that feeling when you've gone through the experience, whether it be the film, the music video, all these different things, and you're like, oh my God, there's nothing cooler than this. And you just
Yes.
feel totally almost, what's the word for it? Like, where you feel totally possessed. Like it's just
Yes. And like inspired too. Inspired. Like you meant
exactly.
you're a big music person as well, but like very quickly, and I tell my dad, I thank him every day because if he did not take me to see Green Day when I was super young, like going to see Green Day live as a kid, like I'm like looking at everything, taking everything in, and I'm like, this is the
Oh,
coolest thing. Like there's nothing cooler. And I want to do this. I want to be involved with like spectacles and I want to be involved with like things. Like it was so inspiring. And I
I
feel
love how you put this into words. Sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
no, I'm just saying it was inspiring. Like it literally
Yeah.
made me want to do like that's what I think it's all about. Like going to these things to get inspired.
I really live for that feeling. I love reminiscing about it, and I love every time I get to discover it because of something else and something new. And I hope to one day be able to create art and be a part of projects and make my own projects that make people feel that way. I mean, it's the most magical thing when you feel totally possessed and inspired by something. It's like coursing through your veins. It's all you can think about, and it makes you think in a new way and feel in a new way, in a way that inspires you internally and makes you feel seen, and also like there's so much to discover and uncover that you have not dived into. It's the coolest thing. And I love that you mentioned your memory of your parent taking you to the Green Day concert
Oh,
because I mean, I guess in that way, like so many of these things, like the people who are creating our parents who support us and take us to
Yeah,
discover those things. These are the real unsung heroes because that feeling is what we live for, and I feel like that's really something that inspires us to do what we love. And I feel really lucky to get to do what I love, and I hope that I can keep growing and that this is just the beginning, really. Yeah.
absolutely. It is the beginning, and you have an amazing career ahead of you. Congratulations with everything you do, and you have been doing, and you will do. Avatar: Fire and Ash, gonna be available in theaters soon. I can't wait for people to check it out. Trinity, so great chatting with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. It was so great to chat and get to reunite.
Absolutely, so great. Your Instagram account is just your name, right? If people want to keep up date with everything.
Yes, it's at Miss Trinity Bliss.
Absolutely.
They did Trinity Bliss, so I had to add the Miss, and now I mean I can't really go back.
And we can announce a big announcement here on the Popternative side of things. Should we tell the viewers? Because by the time this interview is up, then a couple of days after, something else will drop. You are one of our Popternative digital covers for December for the magazine.
I'm so geeked out about it. Thank you.
Of course, which is really exciting. Well, this has been Popternative. YouTube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Until next time, this is Trinity and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.